So, continuing on from Saturday's discussion about a dog eliminating indoors, right? We covered about the fact that they might not be trained. Yesterday, we talked about separation anxiety. Today, we will kind of finish this topic off overall by talking about that this can happen if your dog is the alpha and you're not the alpha in the house. So, what do I mean by that? As we talked about yesterday, when you adopt a rescue or buy a dog, they become part of your group, you become part of their group. And in a group, right, when it comes to dogs, there's a mentality of a hierarchy. And the top dog is an alpha. So when you get a dog into your family, the dog watches you and gets to see, how the situation is. And if it identifies that there is no alpha in the family, it takes that responsibility. You can quickly identify a dog that is an alpha in the family by seeing behaviors like that the dog would enter through the door first. A dog would pull you. When you're walking it, taking them out for a walk, they would not follow or be on your side. They would pull you. Uh, they would keep on asking for food. They would even demand for food. They would demand for attention. These are all the different signs that your dog is the alpha and you are not. And that's a problematic situation because when things like that happen, the dog is going to take charge. They're going to pee, poop, can eliminate anywhere they want because they are the boss. And if you scold them or ask them why or interact with them on that manner, they will shout at you. They will bark at you because they are the boss and they can do whatever they like. That's not a good situation to be in. If you have a dog who behaves like that, you need to rein them in and be in charge. Take command, become the alpha. Keep in mind that if your dog currently is the alpha and you're not, this change of you moving to an alpha is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of patience, and a lot of actions at your end to do that. Now, there are two simple tricks that you can do. You can always go to a professional to understand more things to do or get a trainer. But there are two simple things that you can do as a owner or a pet parent. Point number one is food. A dog knows that you are the provider of food in the house, and you can use that to your advantage. What do I mean by that? I don't mean don't starve them and so on, but take charge of their food. The first thing you could do is when you give them food, right? Don't give it to them directly. Hold the food in front of them for a count of 10, then give the food. If your dog is an alpha, chances are that they will demand for food when you're holding that. If they're doing that, jumping at you, barking at you, and all of that, ignore them. Keep holding the food. Wait for them to go to a submissive position because after a point of time, they would. What is generally a submissive position is that if they're barking and trying to jump at you for the food and all that, they will realize you're not giving it to them. They will take a step back and sit. They do that. It's as I said, it's about your patience. If you are patient enough and you keep holding it, they will do that. When they do that, count till 10, then give the food. Repeat this behavior. It will ensure that they realize you are the one who's commanding the food. You can choose to not give it to them. That will make them step a little back. You're just increasing your, in the hierarchy, you're just going a little up, right? Second thing to notice, if you are in a habit of giving food from the dining table to the dog, stop right now. And alpha eats first. And the other dogs eat only when the alpha is done. By doing this habit of feeding them while you are eating, you're telling your dog that, hey, you're also an alpha. So join me in. That's a bad precedent. So, two simple tricks, work on that, and you should be able to move up the hierarchy and then take charge. It will take time, but you should be able to do that. And once you take charge, you can then use training to kind of make them eliminate in the right place. The fourth possibility of incorrect elimination could also be because your dog is suffering from a medical condition. If it is not about training, and if it is not about separation anxiety, if your dog is not the alpha in the house and this is still happening, look at the situation. Is it happening multiple times a day? Is your dog behaving erratically? If you feel something like that, go to a vet, have him diagnosed and see if there's a medical condition or not. So that's pretty much the four things about a dog eliminating indoors. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or LinkedIn if you have any more questions. Thank you.